This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. Stacy, the psychic medium, joining us. That's right. Stacy Mongar's her name. She hails from beautiful Lincoln, Nebraska these days, but she's known all over the world and can help you with readings, energy work, missing persons cases. She does help with a lot of crimes as well, from gun trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking, organ trafficking. She really is in tune with a lot of things. And I know her own self. She's very obviously attuned, and there's a lot to her story that still we're unfolding day by day. And it's always a pleasure to have you. How are you doing today, darling?
Doing pretty well. If you're doing this, are you? Hang there.
I am. I'm getting through. Woohoo! The cold few months. All good. Thank you for checking on me. But you, my darling, fill me in.
Well, just as I was saying things before we went on, my purpose for being on the show is not only to expose things, but put forth who I am, what I do, but also that it's all interconnected. Personally speaking, and unbeknownst to me, all the things personally that I'm experiencing is all wrapped up in who I am and what I've gone after and what I've done. And I keep on peeling back the layers. So this has been going on for quite a while, and unbeknownst to me. And I think even before I was born, there's been issues. Last time we were on, the DNA is definitely in question and has been, unbeknownst to me. All of this, I've been lied to about everything. My life has been turned upside down and destroyed, and apparently money to be had here, property, unbeknownst to me, all sorts of things going on. And a lot of people involved, and a lot of people I didn't think were capable of it are. It's been, and then the fact of who I am and what I'm here to do. And it's just been mind blowing. And it's been definitely, I'm still here. I had people me, as you know, literally, figuratively, here on me on, because they want what I have, but they just want to read some of those things. And not the people close to me, but everything that, and everywhere I go is connected. When I vote, totally, and that's important to my father, who may not be a father, was worried about going, so I was supposed to born in Seattle, Washington. Submitted quite frequently. And it's been definitely interesting on that. I've been all over, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Missouri, Colorado, of course, Washington, many places within Nebraska, Kimball, York, Lincoln, Omaha. And but it's been, every time I turn around, and there are others similar to my story that it's all coming out in the wash. Everything's being exposed. And, we've all been saying that those of us are here to expose things. Those of us are here that are whistleblowers and, on our journey, on our mission, are exposing this. A lot of things are being exposed. It's just, and I'm sure, like me, their lives have been turned upside down like my own.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, this has been going on for decades. And basically, I was flat out lied to about everything. And, about DNA, about people around me decided to take his mom, and not only figuratively speaking, but spiritually, withheld my gifts and abilities that have been with me from the get-go. But everything's been a lie. And then, of course, it turned on you, and everything imaginable is to get you. And information of character, saying that you're mentally unstable and well. They try to get you locked up, whether in jail, mental health. They try to get you thrown out of places. I mean, it's been wild. And, it would have been one thing if I thought that I had done something to deserve this, which I have not. I never have. My intent has always been to do the right thing, and to stand by that, and to. But I found overseas, I was contacted by, when I was in Omaha, so it was on one of the social media sites, and posing as somebody that was interested in me. And this is what they're doing. They're sending a lot of people to me or not on the right. Either information, want to, slow me down. They're of the persuasion, or literally using dark magic, dark spirituals, name it. It's sent my direction. And it's been wild. And of course, explaining all of this, people look at you like, well, this is insane. And it's like, yeah, it is. And that's the whole point. They want to make it look like you are when you're not. You're exposing things. You're close. If you're not, you're dead on. No pun intended. What's going on? And you're a threat. And when you start to become a threat, and people are wanting to end you, and they're wanting to do everything to stop you and expose, because that means the ramifications for you exposing are far greater than anybody wants to. So, I know that people have been paid to come my direction. I know they've been paid sometimes a lot. And I know that this is probably my money. I do believe I have allegedly overseas bank accounts that are over there. And I know that because of certain people that would make frequent trips over there. And I'm thinking, gosh, I paid for a lot. My own attacks, stations, you name it, I've been paying for it. And not knowing, of course, not knowing that, this is psychically coming in. This is a few and far between people who have towards me saying, yes, they've been being under investigation. And then, but mostly people hiding it, mostly buying off everybody.
Wow.
In the judicial system and, all aspects to cover them. And a long time ago, I did send out, 2013, I had sent out information, out of state to put things out there, not realizing how my story and who I was completely, totally intertwined with all of this. And then people trying to destroy my life and thinking that I was A-okay. And it is not. It's not for me, not for anybody like me. But the overseas bank accounts that allegedly are over there, I'm very well aware. They're sitting over there. They're in different countries. But also I've had people come my direction because I think in order to get access to it. So they've done this in a roundabout way, like put you in false relationships, put you in false marriage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. It sounds wild, and it is. It is. Trust me, I know what it sounds like. But unfortunately, there's been other people come across. There's literally corporations of criminals, equal crimes, people around the world doing this. When they know that people are coming into money, property, they know who they are. They literally try to put them in fake marriages, and then unbeknownst to me, I did have somebody that I thought truly cared about me, did not, was wanting to put me in a false marriage. I think it happened regardless. I think they got access, and this was also getting access to accounts, access to information. This happened quite a while ago, to be exact, about 2019, which was an interesting year, that happened. And then everything cut off, and I realized what they were doing. But this is really a corporation. This is a worldwide that they're targeting people and going around the country, and also targeting if you have gifts spiritually, because there is energy harvesting. There is people that draw off of you, and the only reason they have what they have,
Yeah.
and mind you, not everybody. There are people that are upright
Yeah.
and decent and doing the right thing that don't need to do any of this. But in this case, no. But we'll harvest off your energy to make a buck and to destroy you, to take you out. And so, yes, that happened, and I did deal with that. I did process that. I healed greatly from all of this. Found out and known that they did a lot of things to block and stop me from knowing. To distract me from what's going on. But yes, I do believe that did happen. I've been trying to get information about this. And then overseas, there's a lot going on that people have gone overseas to not only do that, but bank accounts that are over there. But there's a little to that might be, but I family, my biological DNA parents had been U.S. foreign, so I'm still both citizenship may have possible in that country. So instead of Seattle and now where I'm Europe, so it gets made and then essentially so you don't know it's up, but it's been what they can is me taking ownership of who I am and frame this out because
Yeah.
a good 10 years ago, I knew about insurance fraud. And I didn't know it was me about me, but it's about me taking a health insurance policy out on me. And this would about 2015, 16. And then in 2019, I had that happen with trying to create false relationships in order to basically steal from you. But also to take you out and all sorts of things. So I have had a lot of interesting people come my way, a lot of under the radar law enforcement, my direction, and hopefully some upright. But, I'm here for the upright ones. I'm here to answer questions. All you have to do is get a hold of me. I was told that it had been under investigation for years, and it's taken for a lot of this, and with me included, but everything else, 15, 20 years this has been going on. And so it's just been surreal. But in 2019 also happened, I had the accident where I went down in an embankment and it was very steep. I was leaving Lincoln to go back to Omaha, and this was around July 3rd. And I didn't realize this was intentional. And I could have sworn under she's off. I could feel it not right. And what come to know this was literally damage and voodoo. They were set up. They wanted me to die. So therefore, they would have done the insurance policies, the multiple other things would have come on, and then everything else that was, and of course, I'm not sure how much specifically they would have to be a lot in order to go on what's been going on. But meanwhile, I've been uncovering other crimes around and people around me. So right and left, I'm uncovering things, and people are not too happy with me. And I've gotten some weird people contacting me, looking me up, tracking me down, and that sort of thing, and also just behaving really strangely. And it's like, I already know you're involved. Don't, I remain quiet on some of this, and some of this I just know what's going on. And I handle it accordingly, but I'm still alive and I'm not, and of course, everything imaginable has been said about me and a lot of lies. Of course, my mental health is the first they go for. No, I haven't been in any court dates, I do believe. And what I'm concerned about is that there's been some actual court dates or court dates upcoming. that people have been using my ID and presenting to be me, but it's not me. I know that the things have been signed, forged, bank accounts that should have been given to me, on information that's been blocked from me, mail that's been blocked from me and rerouted, I believed. Stolen, rerouted. I had a real major issue, and some of this is for a little while there in Omaha, I was not getting my mail. I was being deluged with stuff, and this was also intentional. I found out to make me feel not focused and take me off of what truly was going on. And I had jobs that they would go in from the back door and get rid of me that I should not have been. All sorts of things to tear my life apart, and all due to greed, and also crimes that I was exposing that they had been doing. So my expertise in exposing corruption, they just didn't think I was able or capable, and that's okay. I have a lot of people that do not think I'm capable, and I'll let them think of it. That's fine and dandy. Until then, it's too late, and I have exposed. You're crazy until you're not, and you're exposing things, and you're dead on about what's happening and what's going on, and then you become a threat. So, and then you're disregarded because they say, "Oh, people won't believe you that you're saying this occurs," and it's like, no, unfortunately, it does occur. And unfortunately, there's a lot out there that they want you to think that's not going on, and it is, and very much is. And it's just disguised. It's all an illusion. And, like we've discussed, everything is energy. But yes, the bank accounts overseas, plenty of people have been over there, probably on my dime. The lot there also, I've had people that Houston, Texas comes into play here. And unfortunately, where we're at, had a long-standing relationship. New York and New York City. I've never fought there Long Island because I've had other contacts, other people that have been actually helpful. But I've had a long-standing relationship, which is ironic that I end up doing what I'm doing. But this platform is, for me to not only help me, everybody else, and there are other people talk about this, and hats off to them for their courage and coming forward and exposing it. Enough of us that come forward that this gets shut down, that this gets exposed, that this is not allowed to happen. And it's about time. And I keep saying enough is enough, and enough is enough. And keep on having weird things happen. I get psychically attacked all the time. And some of it is meant to clearly take you out. So they use that method because they think anybody would think that exists. You have your other people. And intentionally, they're saying that dark magic doesn't exist, black magic doesn't exist. Oh, the hell it doesn't. Yes, it does. You either are doing it, or other people are doing it, or you're in denial. But it does exist, and yes, can you have a lot of this, prevent it from happening, or lessen it to a degree? Yes, you can. And your vibration and frequency play into that. But you're having a few people after one person. Yes, that's been the case with me too. I've had people come after, and because they're trying to cover their tracks, and ultimately it's exposing who they are and what they shouldn't be doing. And now I know I have people that are a little bit taken aback by that energy. They're after you, asked someone, bouncing on you. If it affects you somewhat, and it has, but it bounced back. It go back full. It go back stronger than it came to Russian. So they think that it's not coming back as, and that have consequence for the energy. If you're on the right, sending to somebody does not deserve it, that it's not, warranted, and not to say you should be doing that anyways, that sort of thing. I do not mess, and that's another thing. I've been accused of that, which I do not. And I know that's a lot of rejection and deflection from people that have said that. And I don't practice that, never will. And I protect people from it. I protect myself from it, but I will never engage in that sort of behavior and never have. So, but the overseas, the knowing that they literally paid people to come my way to initiate
Wow.
relationships and friendships is just above and beyond. That they're bought and sold to the high, bought and sold, so you're sold to the highest bidder, is true with a lot of people, unfortunately, around me. Now, does that just not diminish that there are good people? No, it's a, there are, and I know there are a few people out there and about that are not. But sooner or later, it does have a tendency to come back around, and I believe that is what is occurring right now as we speak. And most people, unfortunately, feel they're above and beyond reproach. They believe because they hold a certain title or a certain position, or they have money, or all of the above, that that they're above and beyond. That it does not apply to them. The rules of engagement do not apply to them. And I'm here to say that is not the truth.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yes. And I've been doing those moments. Like, you gotta be kidding me. And it's like, no, this makes sense. And on some level, it is loud from things that have happened when my childhood and to others. I'm going, well, no, this is starting to make sense. This explains, and of course, we moved around so frequently that if they were trying to find me, if I do have different parents, if it is different DNA altogether, then it would have made it hard to find me. Now, with that being said, I do look like on the mother's side, but that is also debatable. Same, but I know that the DNA is different, and how I came about is, not good, because there was money left to me. There were things that I should have received, and information a long time ago, and which I did not. And once again, I've moved about 24 times across the country, so all different places. So it's been surreal, but once again, my mission is like others that are brave enough to expose what's going on, and all sorts of crimes. And insurance fraud has gone through the roof. Fake marriages to steal money and inheritance, property, that sort of thing. And then they try to throw you under the bus. It would not be I would not be surprised if certain people have said I'm dead, and especially if it goes on in other states and other countries, that I'm no longer alive. And I'm sure in 2019, that's exactly with the car accident. And when I had that car accident, I've told this story several times, but when I went down the embankment, which was extremely steep, there was nothing involved, no other cars, no speeding, no alcohol, no nothing. It was just me. And it was like it happened, but I could feel the presence of other things protecting me. And I know what was there. Nothing. There was not a scratch on me except for a little bit of a cut on my left hand. That was it. The windows blew out, except for the front window. The tires blew. The roof was caved in, but it was a Honda, so the engine was still running. I'm not kidding. It flipped like 2.5, almost 3 times, 2.5 times. And it was very steep. So, and the engine was still running. And then they all said, well, we thought you were dead. And I didn't realize the significance of all of that. There were 2 volunteer EMTs that were directly behind me. And I thought, I didn't think too much of that at the beginning, and once again, thank you for this. Does not include everybody of EMTs, of people that are upright, doing the right thing.
Yeah.
There are plenty of heroic EMTs that are involved or they're not doing this. But this particular point, this is a question they were applying to I wanted two of them. And first thing they said, we think you were dead. And I know I'm still alive. Very much so. And I'm realizing that allegedly probably insurance lawsuit was sent out on him. And people closest to him and organ traffic comes in play here. This is major here. It's man the pedal parings and human trafficking, which through the rough. But I had some play. It was steady. They want me dead outright. And remember being told shut up to that. That was true. And going, yes, that was an accident. And I will maintain that. But and for everybody else out there, I'm still alive. If you try to contact me, but had one again come under the radar. And I can use AI to be clean from an area, but it's another area. your voice and be touched. I'm hoping that there's a bunch, there's some copycat out there possibly with me. I'm not 100% sure. I also, there's probably some AI. There was cameras hidden in certain locations. I'm concerned about it's gotten there. I have employed them devices to the dark web to ensure that currently is not there on their web on me. But I'm not too sure in the past or some other things. So, but whoever it is, there are people trying to stop me doing. But it's been wise. And back there is, it was on others as well, not the only one, which is just horrible, which is just insane. That's insane. And it's insane that we need to have people take accountability. People that were in offices and law enforcement in judicial system to that's right to originally is to create no harm. That's part of their. That's part of why they're there supposedly in the office. And I know there are upright law enforcement. I know they're upright judicial, and I'm hoping that this is what's happening. This is what's coming forward. People that, you weren't supposed to create harm and do the harm. You were supposed to mitigate it. You were supposed to deter it. You were supposed to, take out the harm. No harm to others. And I don't know. It's mind blowing. Once again, you have to use a lot of discernment. You have to realize that not everybody is this way, which is hard to, especially when you've been betrayed and you've literally people come your direction because they were asked to, they were paid to, that somebody would do something like that and get paid. To me, that's just awful in itself, that somebody would pretend to harm me and get paid for it. It's just beyond me. Yes. And I'm just blown away. So there's a lot that would, in order for this, and especially if it's money of any, lots of it to take place, you have to have a lot of things in place.
Yeah.
And getting to the bottom of what truly happened, who was all involved, which I think a lot. And every time I turn around, and I know I'm being monitored, but I don't try not to let it dictate my life. I try not to dictate who I am and what I'm here to do. And I know they want me to shut up. When people after me and do things that they've done to the extent they've done, if this was major, massive,
Well,
And
we unfortunately have to wrap it up, sweetheart. Thank you for today. How can someone reach out to you, Stacy?
uh, Stacy the Psychic Medium on Instagram.com and then Facebook. And I do believe it is connected when I brought it up, Stacy S. Mongar on Facebook. And those are the two places to get a hold of me that you can get a hold of me. So those would
Beautiful.
be the places. But just wanted to put all that out there because it needs to be, and it needs to be exposed, and it needs to once and for all be shut down.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate your
Thank
time
you.
here, and we will talk again
I
soon.
appreciate
Thank you.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.